Saturday night in May of 1955. We made our way into the Marchand Dance Hall, and there was Andy Dejarlis in his early 70s. This was a real old-time dance, and a real old-time dance band.
When I was 15 years old, that was my 15th birthday. I came home for supper. I had driven a team of horses that day. I had made up, hauled a load of wood for my brother. We had beautiful horses. And I come home quite tired, and when I pulled my chair out, there was a block. The shape was not, it was just a cardboard block, and it was smaller at one end than the other. And she had a birthday cake on it. And my sister had written, happy birthday, Andrew. So I pulled the chair out, I opened the little box, and there was a fiddle. My mother had ordered it in the Eaton's catalog for $5. It was a $5 fiddle. I tuned the A and the E and the D, but I'll be darned, I couldn't tune the G straight. Finally I got it about an hour after, out of the clear blue sky. My first number was Romeo's First Change.
Here's a photo of the band in Treeherne, Manitoba, 1939. Andy called the band Andy Dejarlis and his Red River Mates in those days. He hadn't changed the name. He changed it a number of times, but that was the name of the band in 1939. The five people are on the far left is Billy Nixon, who played saxophone. Next to him is Les Finley, who's a trumpet player and played second violin in those days with Andy. Ollie Clevin is next to him. Ollie was from Sprague, Manitoba. And then there's Andy. And next to Andy is Tony Bolio. Tony, a longtime piano player with Andy, and a very important part of his musical ensemble. So that's a photo of the group, 1939. Not long after that photo was taken, the Second World War was happening, and some of these musicians, in fact, signed up. Billy Nixon, the sax player, ended up going to Hong Kong and became a prisoner of war there, and fortunately returned. Ollie Clevin served in the Canadian Army in Europe, and so Andy's band was quite decimated in those early years. As a matter of fact, he turned to an all-girls band shortly after the war broke out. Andy was often referred to as the king of the old-time waltz with his compositions. He kept them quite simple, so that people leaving the dance hall would be humming them, and they were toe tapping. They were simple, nice harmonies, and once you put the band together, the Tony Bolio, especially on piano, would provide a real driving rhythm for these waltzes. So you know, what else is there in terms of music? Great melody, harmonies, and rhythm. Here's the Poor Girl Waltz from the music binder of Andy's. It's the original manuscript that a fellow called Bert Beaton did for Andy. Bert's name is at the bottom, and the actual date there, June 17th, 1961.
There's a few notes there, a few remnants from an old waltz that my dad used to play. And when I first came to town in 1934, Bob Gully had dancers here. And he was playing that first part. So after he heard me play, I didn't compose the second part then. He used to play only the first part. but not quite the same, because I don't know, he was trying to finish it off. So after you heard my version of it, he picked it up from there and he used to play some dances. We didn't have tape recorders or anything, but I mean, he picked it up from me, and then he played it the way I played it, you see. And he said he was very glad to be able to do this, you know. So that was kind of feather in my hat. I was kind of proud.